Turn it off. Are you in charge of this? Turn it off. Get this, shut this off. Shut them all off. Turn your lights in your house off too.
Maybe my plan won't work, but then again, maybe it already has.
So lads, when I first started watching Shishira, I didn't really put much thought into anything I was seeing, honestly. I just accepted the show as what I heard it being, just the big gay, and I also gave a lot of passes too, since it is a kids show, so writing may not be a priority. But even in my first video, I brought up Catradora being something that people can look up to. Sure, it is mainly talking about Adora, but I still did mention Catra a bit. I also mentioned that it was quite obvious that they were lesbians from the start. That was mainly for their interactions in the Horde, since they seemed genuine. But I've been rewatching the show with my little brother, and oh my lord, I have no idea how I thought they were in love for the entire show. I did predict they were going to get together by the end in like the fourth episode, mainly because I heard the show was just gay, as I've said before, and while I was watching it, I did have a feeling they'd go with the good old enemies to lovers that people really do love, even though the whole cliche is kind of like shit. But basically in this video, I'm going to mention all the things I've seen people bring up to prove that they were in love with each other through season 1 to 5 and say otherwise. But if it is a genuine scene, I'll give it to you. Also going to mention what I would do to make it a bit better, make a little bit more sense. But sure, I'm not a writer, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt. I'm mainly talking about all the scenes where they're literally trying to end each other's lives, or just fucking with each other and just mentally fucking each other. And people claim it as gay panic, which it just isn't. Kids are going to see this stuff and have a warped sense of love. They're going to see Catra's abuse towards Adora as love. And one example I can think of is the dance scene in Princess Prom. Now, some people might see this as teasing or whatever, but it just isn't though. It's Catra fucking with Adora the entire night, causing extreme mental torment for her. Even while they're dancing, Adora looks like she wants to strangle her and just like tear her head off. Those are not gay eyes, those are eyes of anger. How do you see that and see gay eyes? Another thing I've seen people say is that their fight scenes are like homoerotic somehow. If their fight scenes are homoerotic, then I don't know what scenes yous are watching, because I see two people trying to fucking kill each other, but they can't succeed because whatever, they're just bad fighters. I'd knock them both out. But now, do I believe that if the moment came, would Catra actually kill Adora? Yeah! She literally tried to when she dropped her off the ledge in the Crystal Castle. And we know she didn't intend for her to survive. She even says it herself, that she's happy she survived, so she can kill her herself. Everything past this scene is just genuine attempted murder of multiple accounts. But to be fair, earlier on in that episode, there were some scenes that built up their chemistry or whatever, like them running down the boy tunnel together, or them just interacting in general, just showing what they used to be like in the Horde. But that is only the first season, so they've only like recently lost each other, and the feelings are kind of like still there. Well, I think they're still like there kind of, but I think as the show went on, it kind of like made it seem like they just hated each other. But then in season 5 it was just like, no, I kind of like love her, even though I tried to kill her multiple times. But and sure, even like while they were still in the Horde, the relationship seemed to be a little bit toxic, especially on Catra's side. When Adora became Horde captain, something that she was very happy about and very proud of. Instead of Catra being happy for her, she gets really annoyed and starts sulking, even calling her accomplishment was stupid. You'd expect Catra to at least pretend to be happy for her. But sure, we also have Catra expecting Adora to give more than she can. Like for example, Catra claiming that when Shadow Weaver was being abusive towards them both, that Adora didn't help, even though Adora was shown multiple times to, even if she couldn't save Catra, she always consoled her afterwards, or at least tried to help from Shadow Weaver. And Catra's still not thinking that's enough, which is just a lot of balls, because they were both on the fucking blunt end of it. But Catra just like chose not to see Adora helping her, and it was just like, oh, woe is me, no, you didn't help, whatever the fuck. But another thing is that there are also a lot of scenes showing that Catra knows how to manipulate Adora, or just showing history of abuse. Like in the episode Remember, when Adora is trying to convince Catra there's something going on, you know, when the world's kind of like falling apart, her first instinct is to just...
How do you not love watching Pineda compete?
Oh, he just slapped him, Johnny just slapped him.
And also, she kind of like knows how to manipulate her, as she said in multiple scenes. You know, you'd only know how to manipulate someone if, you know, you've manipulated them and you've seen that it works. But, you know, like in the quote, if you want to take down Adora, you gotta go for the heart. Only someone who has tried to fuck with her would know that. Also, when in like the second episode, Catra, you know, when she electrocutes Adora, says she left her, even though not even 5 minutes before that, Adora offered Catra to come with her. She said, "Do you want to come?" No. Then Catra claimed that she just left, even though she offered her to come with her, which is just a straight up lie, which is toxic. Putting words in someone's mouth to make them feel guilt is not okay. That's just straight up gaslighting. She just gaslighted her. It's like, "Do you want to come with me?" No. "You left me and like I'm stuck here." It's like, "But you want to come?" No. "But you left me." It's like, that's just dumb. Like, who thought of that? Goes, yeah, that's a good plot point in the fucking story. That just makes no sense. But, you know, one of my main gripes, or maybe it is my main gripe, is with Catradora, is the fact that people say that they're in love and Catra's being hot or whatever, when she's literally kicking the shit out of Adora. Like, excusing her, kicking her around. Like, when she was corrupted, when she was intimidating Adora, scaring the fuck out of her, and just baiting the shit out of her, pulling her by her hair and all. I've seen people say it was hot when she was doing that. Like, what the fuck? Catra literally tries to end the fucking world just so she can see Adora lose. Like, how spiteful can you be? I just don't want kids to see that and be like, "Oh, okay, if I love someone, I'm gonna fucking bully them and beat the shit out of them." Like, that's just like, because that can happen. People will see this and be like, "Oh, is that what love's like?" If like, I get upset at someone, I lash out at them. It's like, no, don't be putting that shit in like a kid's show. And like, then say they're in love at the end. Like, just don't do that. Another thing about bad writing is just like the way she just Catra in season 5. Like, she went from like season 1 through 4. You'd think that like Catra hated her, wouldn't you? But then just bang, season 5. I really care about her, and I really, really don't want her to die, even though I've tried to kill her multiple times. Like, by season 5, I expected their friendship to be like long gone and over. Like, I didn't expect them to even want to be around each other unless they were trying to kill each other. Now, you could bring up the argument of, well, like, you know, Horde Prime was going to end the fucking world, so Catra wanted to do like one good thing, as she said herself. Now, I'll give you that one. That is true. But she also tried to end the world herself, and was trying to help Hordak summon Horde Prime for what, like, nearly the entire series, if not the entire series. Now, this is what I've been looking forward to. You might be thinking, well, what would you have done better, Mr. fucking know-it-all? And that I shall answer. Show Catra caring for Adora throughout the entire show. Now, what I mean by that is they should have, like, showed a bit more of the internal conflict of Catra. Like, do I really want to kill the woman, the only woman I've ever loved? Show Catra, like, hesitating in some scenes, you know? Do the same for Adora. Show the two not really being able to fight each other at full power because, you know, they're in love. This would have been a great opportunity to use, like, Red She-Ra, like the corrupted She-Ra, to make Catra be surprised at the sheer power that She-Ra possesses. Since in my version, she would have never faced her at full power, since Adora would have cared too much to actually try and kill her. Maybe like hurt her a bit to make her fuck off, but not actually kill her. It's like, imagine this. We just redo the Battle of Bright Moon a little bit differently. What would happen is that, like, it would still go ahead. It would still happen. Catra would still win, right? But when she has Adora defeated on her knees in front of her, she kind of like feels bad, and that she kind of has like a look of sadness in her eye when she sees Adora on the ground, that she's like, fuck, I really hurt the woman I love. Like, it goes the same way, like, you know, princesses come to like gay power, like, we shoot a fucking rainbow at you, we win. But I think that we should see Catra like looking down at Adora and like looking sad, kind of, you know what I mean? And I think as the show goes on, they get more aggressive with each other, since like, they've done more stuff to each other. They try to hurt each other more and more throughout the show. But I mean it when I say that the whiteout episode, like the snow episode with the big like fucking lizard, not lizard, the big like worm thing, should be the first time Catra should be at like genuine risk of being killed. You can show this by making Adora's sword like swing faster, swing heavier, and if she hits anything, they make a bigger hole or dent or whatever. So it's like at the Battle of Bright Moon would have been like kind of a small dent if she missed and hit the wall, you know, a big boom. But now it's like a big, and it looks like Superman is that flying through that wall. And like Catra should only like, what is it, focus on like dodging her attacks, since she knows that like if She-Ra hits her once, she'll just die. It's like fighting Francis Ngannou. It's like he hits you once, you're just like gone. Also, after like the finale of season 3, you know, where Catra's end the world, I think Adora should bump it up, like maybe even try to kill her a few times if she gets a chance for the entirety of season 4, like all of it, but still show those moments of weakness sometimes, but not as much. Cut down a lot, like a lot. Maybe only show it at the end of the season, or have Catra think of Adora during her breakdown of the episode, you know, Fractures. And then I believe 5 should play out relatively the same, where like Prime notices that Catra definitely cares about Adora, and it won't just come out of the blue. Also, it would make her sacrifice just more believable. And they still gotta do, you know, the big like finale, big kiss or whatever. But like it would make it a lot more believable, since, you know, they were obviously caring about each other through the season, not the season, the show, like through 1 through 4. So it would make Adora going back for Catra make more sense, and it would make Catra sacrificing herself make more sense. I just think showing that they care for each other a little bit more obviously would make the ending make a lot more sense. But you know, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, you could be right, I could be right, you could be wrong. Why don't you tell me how you feel about my opinion down in the comments? I would really appreciate it if you've actually made it this far in the video, if you could comment on what you thought of like my changes. Now I haven't like put hours into this video or whatever, because like I can't really like rewatch all the episodes and say like exactly where and this and this and this should happen there, this should happen there, because you know I have school and I've been working on other things. But I did want to say this because I have seen a lot of people say stuff about Catradora and how it's like fine, and how Catra's like misunderstood and stuff like that. It's like, anyway, before I rant on for another few minutes, I'll leave you to it. I would appreciate if you'd subscribe, and I'd really appreciate if you left the video a like and a comment, and we could have a nice little debate in the comment section. I don't want to get mean, I don't want to get toxic. I respect you if you respect me. And yeah, I hope to see you soon. I'll hope to hopefully make another video soon after this, and goodbye everyone.